All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there, just like you, just like me. We've got a really special guest on the show today. This album has been like on repeat play since it came out. In fact, the first three singles when they dropped, I was just, doing the whole one, two, three. The first three songs, Burden for Love, I Will Be Stronger, and Higher. Higher is like my all-time favorite. Just
Oh, cool.
super amazing. We've got Gregory Lynn Hall with us today. Do you prefer Gregory or Greg?
I go by Greg with my friends and stuff, but professionally, I do Gregory Lynn Hall.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm a child of the 80s, I'm thinking, was it Anthony Michael Hall? I'm thinking
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And my brain, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna call you something else, but that's a cool name. It's definitely a cool name.
Thanks, bro.
How did you get started in the business? I read some of your bio. You've been doing a lot of music for quite a while, and tell us about your beginning and all of that, and where we are,
Well,
how you got to where you are now.
I'm from LA, so I grew up in LA, and we had lots of bands. Let me do something. Hang on one second. 2 seconds. I'm gonna shut this down. He said dogs have parking next door. Got a dog next door to my stepfather.
Hey,
Anyways,
yeah, I got you. I got too much light comes in my room here, and it gets too
yeah,
crazy.
the dog will go nuclear if he starts hearing me. But anyways, uh, I had some band stuff. I started playing guitar when I was like about 10 years old, 11, and started beating up guitars and drums and all that kind of stuff. And then I started doing some band stuff in the 80s and late 70s, 80s. Started doing some garage band stuff. Played a ton of parties in LA.
Yeah,
Anyone from the 80s knows that, man. We used to do those backyard parties, and we played with like, 200-300 kids, kegger parties. We play Rat Sally, my band Rat Sally. That's a picture of my band back there in the
yep,
corner right there. But anyways, but yeah, we played a ton of parties, and then we started migrating down to play like the Troubadour, and Gazaris, and eventually played the Country Club and that kind of stuff. And we changed in about like 1982. We changed after we heard Van Halen with the keyboards.
yep.
I go, dude, I told my bass player, I'm like, dude, you should get a keyboard, man, and I'll just play bass. You know what I mean? We'll keep it to four guys still. So we did that. We started playing down in like the country club and doing showcases. And we had like guys from Warner Brothers and David Lee Roth coming out to our shows and all kinds of stuff. And it was happening. And then the market changed, the whole Seattle thing. Dude, the Seattle thing came in and just blew us all out. So I
Yeah,
just, what are we gonna do, man? I left. I left LA and came to the Midwest, and
yeah.
I started singing jingles.
Really?
Yeah, I started doing jingles, a lot of TV commercials, Chevrolet, and Tyson Chicken. I've got a reel of all my old stuff. It's funny, some of it's hilarious. But I did a lot of jingles and stuff in the Midwest, and until about 1994. No, 90, 92, 93, 94. I went back to LA, and
Yeah.
I was still doing jingles, and I got a referral to do a jingle in Malibu. That's where I grew up in Thousand Oaks, that area. So I was back in my home turf, and I was doing a jingle in Malibu for this guy, Chris Julian. And Roger Scott Craig is the one who had hired him to hire me.
Yeah.
So I did this jingle for Roger, and unbeknownst, I didn't even know 101 South. But Roger came up to the session, and he gives me a cassette tape, and he goes, "Man, you want to do a record?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Listen to this on your way back home." So I drove back home, and I called him back. I'm like, "Dude, this is 80s rock. What are we gonna do with this?" He goes, "Well, there's still a market in Europe."
Yeah.
So I said, "I don't know. I guess let's do a couple demos." So we demoed like 3 songs, sent it out to a couple labels. I think, yeah, we're on MTM back then, and I think Serafino Frontiers. They did part of it too. And so that's how One Was Out was born. We just did a couple demos and they signed us. It was
Wow.
like a fluke.
Yeah.
But but going back with my other band in the 80s, yeah, we just kind of disbanded because the market changed.
Yeah.
And I've said I'm not gonna wear freaking flat Pendletons and be all depressed. We wore spandex. We had spandex and big hair. That was our
Right.
stuff, and we were happy.
Dude, I mean, you're a man after my own heart because I complain. I do a lot of
Yeah.
commentary and I critique all that stuff and all these bands that just got blown up.
Yeah.
They're like, you think of like Firehouse and Danger Danger and Mr.
Yeah.
Big, right? They're kind
Right.
of all just starting to catch on and then gone. Like,
Yeah.
and these were really talented bands. Now, you said, did Roth showed up to see you perform?
Oh, he came out to a few of our shows. What happened is he had just got a band called Autograph signed from
Yeah.
Warner. And so we had like uh the Mo Austin,
Oh yeah.
from Warner Brothers. Mo
Yeah.
Austin, he was sending guys out to our showcases. So we were doing showcases at the country club, and that was mainly our place where we did them. And we were getting, and Geffen came out, a couple guys, sent some guys, Jerry Hoff. All these cats were coming around. And then all of a sudden the market just flipped.
Yeah.
And we go, what the hell, what are we gonna do, man? I looked at my guys and I'm like, I don't know, man. And at the same time as that happened, my mom was actually diagnosed with a brain tumor.
Oh man, sorry.
So it kind of sidelined me too, because I was doing both things at once, taking care of my mom.
Yeah.
She was diagnosed and with a brain tumor to live 2 years, and she almost lived 2 years to the day that she was diagnosed.
Wow.
But anyway, so dealing with that and then going to rehearsals, having a manager. We had a manager back then for our band. It was Rat Sally was the name of the band.
Yeah.
We had our manager was Peter Jackson, who was Eric Clapton's road manager,
Okay.
old English guy, and he
Yeah.
was our manager. And he was start getting these guys. He's the one who was getting Austin boys to come out and see us, and I mean it was happening.
Yeah.
But the music changed. I just looked at everybody and I go, dude, you guys, I'm gonna bail because I
Yeah.
can't deal with all this stuff. I'm not gonna wear Pendletons and switch my music taste. I do what I like. That's it.
Yeah.
I like what I like, and I'm not gonna bend and do this stuff. And so many bands did that, They tried to do that grungy stuff, and when you're not, it's not authentic if it's not your stuff. It doesn't come
Yeah.
from your soul. And
Yeah.
some of those, I don't like really any of that stuff. I do like Chris Cornell. I
Yeah.
like Chris. Chris's voice was amazing. There's
Mm.
a few bands that came out of there that were cool, but I had a bone to pick with them all because they jacked up our careers. So I was
Well,
like, I hate all those bands.
yeah. Well,
But
my
I don't
argument,
really,
right? And you grew up like you started in the late 70s and went through the
yeah,
80s.
right,
My argument was, okay, so you got this new stuff, this grunge stuff. I call it the grunge apocalypse, by the way. I have names for all this stuff.
yeah, yeah,
And I don't understand, Gregory, why it couldn't have coexisted. You know what I mean? Like you have this music. If somebody wants to go out and buy that music and listen to that music,
yeah,
and then you continue on with what you're trying to do, right? And with all these bands that started to catch on the late 80s, early 90s, and then you just shut the door on everybody.
right.
It's bizarre. It was
I
really
know
bizarre because I was in radio. I was in radio at the time, so I knew
Yeah,
exactly what you're talking about. Where we're
yeah,
we're looking at our playlist, and it was a rock station. I'm going, they want
yeah,
us to play all of this crap, and I never had the response to it that the industry had. Like locally, people weren't ringing the phones off for Pearl Jam or Nirvana or any of that
yeah.
stuff.
I know.
Um,
It just buzzed, and all of a sudden it buzzed. And when one of them hit,
yeah,
they all
yeah,
all those guys, they all hit. I went, oh, we're screwed. All of us are screwed.
yeah.
So a lot of
So
guys quit, a lot of guys, and obviously now you see our stuff is back.
yeah,
And it's
well, it
not,
never went away. I mean, you had that
yeah,
stadium tour, right? And
yeah,
people showed up to see that. And these
yeah,
are guys. A lot of times, you hear in all these stories that there's a vocal track or something, but people are still going to because that the fans never went away. The
the
fans
music,
were always
yeah,
there.
right, right.
And so fast forward to this year and this thing. I got to tell you, man, I love this. Could be my favorite melodic rock record of 2022. And I'm not saying
Wow,
that
that's
because you're on
cool.
here. It's one of the reasons I want to have you on. Um,
Cool.
Alessandro, really important on this record.
Yeah,
Serafino, this sounds like Serafino said, hey, I want Gregory Lynn Hall and this guitar player who
Tristan. Yeah,
sounds like Brian May a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Um,
he's got that feel because he does that Queen thing, you know.
yeah,
It's in his
and
blood.
you've got this David Coverdale. That's what I hear. I mean,
Yeah,
some people might hear other things, and it's just really well written, really well produced. Big keyboard parts, big
yeah,
hooks all over the place. A lot of
yeah.
air in the songs, so you're not getting all this noise and compression. Did you?
Yeah.
What were you were involved with writing some of these songs? How did that
Yeah.
all work out?
Yeah, me and Al, so Ali had been a fan of mine since we did the 101 South Step in 2000.
Yeah,
He followed me through all these years. He would text me that once in a while, hey, dude, what are you doing, bro? I'm like, I'm doing commercials.
yeah,
I'm just hanging out. And he's all, we gotta get you back out. I'm
yeah.
like, how long has it been? It's been, it was at that time when we first started, like 7 years. Then I did a solo album on with I forgot George Siegel with I did a solo album, but I had to produce it myself and didn't have a budget.
Yeah.
I didn't like the production and everything, but it was my stuff. So I did that, and Ali heard that, and he goes, "Dude, I like your stuff, man. We need to get you on this roster
Yeah.
with Serafino." I said, "All right, what do you want to do? Let's write a few songs." He goes, "Let's write a few songs, me and you, and we'll pitch them to Mario and Serafino, see what they think." So we did 2 songs.
Yeah.
That's it. I think they took the first one and gave it to an artist, and then she produced that. Isa, I think you're right. Isa, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
She
Couple of
did one of
years ago.
yeah she did one of our songs. Me and Ali wrote. Then we pitched one more song, and then the next thing I know, I'm getting a long email from Mario
Yeah.
and Serafino going, "Okay, we want to do a deal with you. What do you want to do?" And we talked it out and negotiated. So we're doing a one album with four option deal.
Nice.
So, but me and Ali, me and him are just connected, man. There's something, he's just the coolest guy,
Yeah, he
and we have
is.
this, and he knows my voice. He kind of gets me, and I mean, we're still feeling each other out. It's a first album thing, so we're still kind of feeling it out. I don't want to be, I don't want to be categorized as one of those cookie cutter frontiers things because that's a lot of it is.
I
Even
know.
some of my friends like Robin McCauley, these guys, they're all doing their stuff. Robin's a great vocalist, but a lot of people are saying, "Oh, that's one of those frontier, bake in the oven band things where they just put the singer and some cats together." I don't really want to do that. I wanted to make something unique and something different, and hopefully that's translating with Tristan's playing and
Yes.
my voice. Hopefully my voice is unique enough to where it's sticking out away from those cookie cutter things. That's what
Yeah.
my goal was, to do it my own way. Even though the writers and writers were all from the same house, kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Ollie's writing team, they sent me some stuff. I pitched a few things. We kind of commingled it and mushed it together. Um, so that's kind of how we came up with songs. Some stuff he would pitch me music. I'd write lyrics.
Yep.
Couple things he had lyrics and music done, and I just interpreted, which is I don't mind doing that. Did that with Roger on some of the Run on One South stuff. So, but yeah, we're still kind of feeling each other out, but I think it's starting to feel good. I've got a lot more like bluesy based stuff. My background is more Bad Company, Paul Rogers. My guys are Coverdale, like you said,
Yeah.
Paul Rogers, Luke Graham. I mean, those are my cats. Those are my mentor guys.
Yeah.
So I tend to gravitate towards that real bluesy, give me some room, don't stomp on me stuff.
Yeah.
And Tristan is a filler. He's so smart. Guy's a brain. I didn't really know who he was. I had heard about him, but when Serafino said, "I'm gonna put you guys together," I was like, ah. At first, I didn't really. I thought he was gonna put me together with like Lynch or somebody,
Yeah.
somebody that's a rocker guy.
Right.
And then after I heard Tristan, I went, "Wait a minute, this dude is like freaking unique, man."
Hmm.
Serafino's got this sense,
He
and
does.
I gotta trust him because having now seen what he's done with the production, Tristan,
Yeah.
that guy he's just got this. He's kind of like this eccentric, like Bowie sort of star baby. He's a trippy guy, but he's brilliant
Yeah.
and an insane player. And
Yeah. You can hear it.
all my pro guitar player guys that I know, they're all, dude, that guy kicks ass.
He
That
does.
guy kicks ass, man. You guys are a good team. He goes, I think Serafino knew what he was doing. So
Yeah.
well, I think that we're onto something. I'm hoping, we can continue to build, and I'd like to get out and play this stuff live, but there's a lot of production on it, so we may need a backup guitar. I may have to sling a guitar on and play some of the stuff because I'm like, there's a lot of shit on there, a lot of stuff to cover. But,
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely hear the production value. One of the things that
yeah,
I heard right away, and you mentioned the whole cookie cutter thing, and yeah, some of that stuff, whether it's Hardline or Revolution Saints, a lot of times people are listening to that stuff and they're going, okay, it kind of sounds a
yeah,
little, but this thing, I think the guitarist makes a huge difference, and the fact
I
that
know.
there's a lot of air in the production, I can hear you. I mean, you got this nice grovelly kind of thing going on, which you talked about how that was unique, and it's
Hope
just
so, yeah.
it makes you really you do stand out a lot. And if we didn't have the industry we have here in the States right now with radio in the condition that it's in, dude, this thing. I mean, I will all those first three songs. Higher is my favorite, but I've been
Yeah.
listening to the whole thing, and I there's not a bad apple on this thing. You know what I mean? It's just a great song, great album, rather.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to get my copy. I haven't heard. I've only heard the three songs for a while until because we had rough tracks, but it's been like a couple months. I'm like, man, I kind of miss those songs. I need to hear those songs again. So I'm
You want me
waiting
to
for my.
send it to you?
I got one on the way. So
All
he sent
right,
me,
all
and he
right.
goes, when you get it now, make sure you take a picture, so I can put it on the for promo. And I'm like, all right.
I hate to tell you, but Amazon delivered it the day it came out. So
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't get them from the label either. So don't feel bad.
Yeah.
I've gotten
Yeah.
a few. I can't say I've never gotten any. Ali sends me, like, he'll send me his stuff. He sent me a vinyl for his band's album, and
Yeah.
occasionally I get something in the mail. But
Right.
this, I just mark the date and I say, okay, when's this coming out? I want this the day it comes out. I tell people, if you're gonna just stream the music or whatever, buy the album, use it as a coaster, right? You put your
Yeah. Yeah.
link
Yeah.
on there, because that's
Well, that's one of the things, with Roger, my partner from When and What's Up, Roger Scott Craig. Roger's still so jaded because everybody downloads our music and takes it for free. I said, dude, that's what's going on now. You can't.
yeah,
It is what it is, bro. We
yeah.
still got to make music. Well, I'm not doing. I'm retired. I said, people want to hear us. We should do another One and What's Up there. So I'm still working on him. But if we could get some more stuff together, we produce some pretty good stuff too. But I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this Killer King thing, man. I
Yeah.
think I
So
hope sales up and we get some good responses, and other things happen.
Killer Kings, who came up with that, by the way?
I did. I
Nice.
was well. What happened is I had another name that I was presenting to them, and they liked it, Soul Shaker.
Yeah, that's good.
So I said, "Show," because I wrote a song called Soul Shaker. It's
Yeah,
very white snake rainbow, real hardcore. So I
nice.
wrote a song called Soul Shaker, and I thought, oh man, maybe we should call the band Soul Shaker. So I sent it to Ali. He forwarded it to Mario and Surfy, and they said yes. Well, and then like a month later, they're all, let's do some. What you got? Anything else? So I said, no, let me think about it. So I just wrote down a few other names: Killer Kings, Queen. Because I was thinking of Tristan because it's with the Queen thing.
Yep.
I was thinking of Queen, Killer Queen, Queen City Rats. I don't know. I was just writing down names. I thought Killer Kings. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, wait a minute. So I googled it, went online. There is a band that's called Killer Kings, but they don't really have a following, a couple hundred people. So I said, let's just go with that. I pitched it to them, and they said, yeah. So I don't know if I like the logo. When they sent me the logo, I thought it was a little too metal,
Yeah.
a little too metal. And I told the artist guy, I said, dude, it's hard to read, bro.
Yeah.
It's a little bit metal and kind of looks. It's a little hard to read. I would like to just be like block letters, like Killer Kings, really legible, just big thick letters. But they went with that, so I griped a little bit. It didn't work.
Yeah. I
So
mean, I like it. I mean,
yeah,
it works. It works for me. I like, I grew up with all these great album covers, and so when you see something that's got
I,
art in it, and it's
I
not.
like the art. I just thought that the wording was hard to read a little bit, like a little bit. I had to look at it. I'm like, okay, I've
Yeah,
got
I
it up
mean,
on.
well, remember Atlantic Records? There was always like these block letters they would do for everybody's album back
Yeah,
in the
that's a little
day.
boring.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So
Yeah.
what's next? Are you going to work on more material for a second album? You said, you mentioned you might tour this or go out with it. That would be cool, by the
Well,
way, if you did some live recordings.
man, I'm hoping that we can do, like a festival, get on one of the festivals and just go there because, what would probably happen is Ali would put some guys together
Yeah,
and I would just fly there wherever there is.
yeah,
If it's Europe, because I'm in the Midwest right now. I'm in Branson, Missouri, actually.
yeah.
So if I would fly there and then we just put together a band and Tristan obviously would fly there too. We would do some rehearsals and then just play a couple festivals. I would love to do that. But other than that, we're gonna, you know, I guess depending on if everyone likes it and it does well, we'll just start working on another album. So and
Yeah,
write it, which I'm already doing. I'm already writing. So
that's awesome.
I'm
That's
always writing, man. So
That's
yeah,
that's good, man. Well, we need to keep you going out there. I mean, you're one of those guys, I think, that just, I interview a lot of people like this where, their life, hit that thing that happened in the 90s, and then
yeah,
what are you going to do, right? Because
yeah,
and I'm glad you stuck to your guns, I mean, this is the music I like the best. I mean, this
I
is,
do too.
yeah.
I like what I do. I mean, I like what I do. I don't mean that in a private way. I like the style of music that I like. I don't
Right.
like this. I
You
like acting
tell,
like,
right. And I get in arguments with people like, well, how come you don't like such and such? And I said, I respect what it is, but
yeah,
there are times, I'll be riding around with my wife in the car and one of those kind of songs will come on the radio and I'll
yeah,
just wince, and she'll go,
yeah,
what? And I go, it's 90s crap. I
yeah.
just don't like it.
Well, like I said, I like Cornell
Got a
and all
good
that.
voice. Yeah, he's got a good
Appreciate what
voice.
those guys did for what it was, but for me, it's not, my style of stuff that I like. I just like more blues, 70s blues, rock. Like
Yeah.
I said, Bad Company is a perfect example. Straight ahead
Right.
blues, right in your face vocals, nothing depressing. Uh, not a ton of like minor chords, which are down depressing. Put some major stuff in there, majors, so it feels good and happy and up. And
Yeah, it's
anyways,
a
that's
big difference. I mean, I'm not a music guy, but I learned, everything's in a minor key, minor chord,
right.
and it's not happy, upbeat, and
Yeah,
you could do maybe one or two songs like that on a record, but listening to it from track 1 to track 11, it,
yeah,
it's too depressing. That's why
yeah.
and again, folks, I'm doing some promos here for Gregory. You
Mhm.
guys should go out and purchase this album. Go out and get the CD, or at least download a legit copy of it and have it, because you got to support the artist. Frontiers, they put out a lot of stuff. Like I say, they throw a lot of stuff at the wall, Gregory, and some of it sticks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So good music, man. I appreciate
Thank
you
you, man.
coming on.
Yeah,
Um,
thanks, man.
any final thoughts for us here?
Well, I would just say, if you like it, buy it and stay tuned for more. We got more coming. We're just getting going. It's good to be back,
All right.
back in the game.
Yeah, it's great to have you. All right, sir. Thanks so
Okay.
much for coming on.
You
Um,
got it.
and best of luck to you this year and into the new year, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right.